When I was young, there was a period I was obsessed with card flipping. The snack was a kind of crispy, dried noodle. Each bag came with one card from a set of 108 water margin heroes. The game was simple. A few kids huddle together, everyone puts down a stack, you take turns slapping the ground next to the pile, and whatever flips over is yours. Simple in theory, but there was craft to it. How many cards to put down was a calculation, and so was the force and angle of the slap. An experienced player could tell at a glance who had real technique. After school, you'd run into a few kids near the school gate or beside the corner shop, say a few words, crouch down, and it was on. No planning, no organizing. It just happened. When you won, you'd stuff the other kids' cards into your pocket with a grin. When you lost, you'd watch your own cards get taken, wince, put down a few more, and go again. Almost every boy in school who played knew everyone else who played. Not through formal introductions, but through rounds of winning and losing, stomach a little empty, but somehow not wanting to go home. Every day like that. In theory, it was a collecting game. The goal was to gather all 108, but almost no one actually cared about that goal. If you won a rare card, you'd be happy for a moment, then throw yourself straight back into the next round. No time to count how many you still needed. I have no idea where that stack of cards ended up. Probably thrown out by accident during some move, but those afternoons crouching by the side of the road, those I remember clearly. Later I went to study in Europe. The countries are close together, but holidays are short, so before every trip you'd plan the itinerary to the brim. 2 weeks, 5 countries, otherwise you felt you were wasting the flight. The result was a massive amount of time spent in transit. Trains, budget airlines, coaches, moving between cities. Sometimes you'd spend half a day in a place, queue for a photo at the landmark, open the map to confirm the next destination, then leave. Coming home and opening the photo album, everything was there. Paris was there, Amsterdam was there, Venice was there, a few presentable shots from each place, but a strange feeling never quite left. I'd been there, but I'd never really been there. Those cities felt like they'd been captured by my camera without entering any part of my body, like flipping through someone else's travel album. You know the place exists, you can see what it looks like, but it has nothing to do with you. At first I thought it was because the itinerary was too rushed, but later I found that even when I stayed an extra day or two, the feeling persisted. I'd be standing in front of some landmark, thinking about whether the angle was right, whether the light was good enough, whether it would look good posted, the actual place, the one with wind and smell and strangers walking past, I'd barely looked at. Once, I was watching a sunset by the sea. Out of habit, I reached for my phone to take a photo. Dead battery. I looked for my charging cable, hadn't brought it. I thought about going to find somewhere to charge, but the sun had already started to descend. So I just sat there, put the phone back in my pocket, did nothing, and watched. It was uncomfortable at first. I kept feeling like I should be doing something, documenting something, or at least sending a message to tell someone. But the sun doesn't wait. It sank, bit by bit, the color shifting from orange to red, to a deep, settled purple. Somewhere in that process the discomfort faded. That was the best sunset I had ever experienced. Not the most beautiful in any conventional sense. I've seen better compositions, more saturated colors. But it was the first time I was truly there. No thoughts about the angle, no thoughts about who might like it. Just standing there, feeling the wind come in, feeling the light change, feeling time move. That sunset entered no one's photo album, but those few minutes were more real than every recorded moment from that entire trip combined. Our generation has a strange arc of growing up. When we were small, there were no phones that could photograph anything at any moment. We crouched by the roadside after school, flipping cards. Nothing from those afternoons was documented, but all of it can be remembered. Then technology arrived, a little at a time. First, cameras became effortless to use. Then what you captured could be sent out instantly. Then people started giving you likes. Then you started anticipating which angle would get more. Every step was convenience. Every step felt like a gift. But at some point none of us can identify. Something quietly switched places. Experience became raw material for documentation, and documentation became the purpose. No one told you it should be this way. Technology installed this logic gradually, so naturally that you never noticed you'd started living differently. Going somewhere not to be there, but to prove you went. Watching a sunset not to watch it, but to capture it. That other eye, the one always calculating how to turn what's in front of you into something else. I can no longer say when it grew. The evening my phone died, that eye temporarily stopped working. And for once I watched a sunset with both eyes. We seem to have accepted, without deciding to, that an undocumented experience is wasted, that time without output is inefficient. But that evening with the dead phone taught me one thing. The sunset you photograph is for other people to see. The one you don't photograph is yours.